Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, everybody. I'm very happy to upload this video today. I'm lifting myself up with energy because, man, I've just been cooked. I have to regain. I've been pushing my workouts recently. Today, it's caught up with me big time. So, we're doing this video today. We're talking about these players that essentially are clubless. They don't have clubs next season. It's pretty wild. I mean, they're technically owned by these clubs, and they're getting paid wages, but they're not going to play. And these clubs don't want them. They don't want them at the training grounds. They don't want them playing. There's an exception of one player in this video, but it just seems like they've broken ties between the player and the club. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. Look, I'm so excited for this season, man. We're going to be posting daily on this channel every day. Match reactions, predictions. I'm so hyped, man. It's the beautiful game. It's returning. And this is my first year where I'm really like, we've been posting a lot of reactions to big games over the years. We're going to go like 6 days a week on this channel. FIFA World Cup this year, it's just exciting. I want you guys to let me know. Let's say on a Sunday that Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Man City play. I'm thinking I want to upload like individual reactions to those games. I'm not going to put them all together. That makes sense, right? Instead of like one 40-minute video, we kind of post individual stuff because they might be at different times. I don't want to wait. I want to get the reaction up. That's the right play, right? So just let me know in the comments, even if it's 10 of you, that just let me know that might be the right play. Okay, anyways, this is going on Spotify as well. Link in the description. First player, 25 years old. Man, Jadon Sancho. Bro, it feels like every single season, in the offseason, in the summer, we're talking about this guy. Ever since this dude left Dortmund, man, it's not been good. It's not been good. This guy, I'll tell you this, there's not many players all time that have had transfer values over 100 million euros. This guy was valued at 120 million euros when he was 20 years old at Dortmund. Goes to Manchester United for a fee of 90 mil. All right, and man, what a horrible investment he has been. He is an incredible footballer, I will say. Very, very technically sound. Has had some moments, but just has never broken through as that consistent player. And for me, look, he's 25. This is the age where a lot of people start to enter their prime in their careers. So is it over for Sancho yet? It's not over, but he's not playing at United this season. All right. So where is this guy going to go? I don't know. And it's so interesting because you look at club interest. The current rumors say Dortmund, Juventus, but we're heading into this, and I was looking, and I couldn't find anything recently except that Inter apparently is gaining traction with Jadon Sancho. Is this a move? Manchester United would ask around 25 mil to sell. I mean, that is mental to me as well, because Inter was also looking at Lookman, who at this point I would say is the better bet. Sancho is a phenomenal talent, but he's just not worked out at so many of these clubs. He's been average, to be honest. He's not been like the worst player of all time, dropping 0 goals, 0 assists, but for the expectations that the world had for this guy and what he did at Dortmund, to be fair, which was really exquisite, he's just not panned out in the way that people had thought. Had a stint at United, had a stint on loan at Chelsea. It was all right. Not too crazy. You can see the vision. You can see the moments. Consistency for him has been the biggest problem. And I think the way that Sancho's going to get the best out of his career going forward, because it's technically not over yet. Bro is 25. He needs to be in a team he's going to be a squad player. He's going to be playing week in and week out. All right. This guy clearly has not benefited from being rotational or switched out of a lineup week in and week out. Okay. Next player we're going to talk about, because we've got 10 players in this video that we're going to go through. Garnacho, okay? Garnacho. Now, this guy, a lot of polarizing opinions on this player. He has scored some of the most incredible goals in football all time. I mean, you look at the bicycle kick he scored. Yeah. I mean, he really has. He's scored 2 or 3 goals in his catalog that have been ridiculous. And then, I think we posted on the Instagram or the TikTok the other day, you watch times where this guy will dribble 1v1 15 times into a defender and not run back. Now, we heard some beef, some drama between him and Ten Hag over the years. That has been a reality. And a lot of people have questioned his overall ego in that. It's not to take away from the fact that, yes, he is a good footballer. The problem for me with Garnacho, so Garnacho, not only did he have a fallout with Ten Hag a bit, he's now had a fallout with Amorim. Amorim basically told Garnacho and a few other players at the end of last season, but specifically Garnacho, good luck finding another club. This came out publicly reported. The dude, can you imagine you show up and your value is 50 mil plus, and your manager sits there and says, good luck finding another club. You're not playing here next season. So Garnacho is a United player. I don't know how they're going to revive this relationship at the club. It's not going to happen to me. It's time for him to move on. Guys, he's 2004, man. He's 21 years old, but We've heard rumors about Chelsea, but Chelsea don't look like they want to pay more than 30 mil for him, and I can't blame them. I cannot blame them. I don't think I would want to do that either. Garnacho, he's had an okay career so far. He's had 16 goals, 10 assists in 93 Premier League matches. I mean, he's shown us that, look, he works hard. What type of Garnacho are you going to get in that game? You don't always know. But, right now, all I can really find online is Besiktas maybe and Napoli. Napoli doesn't sound like too bad of an option for him. Napoli, he's also going to walk into a project that they're a really good team. They are a really good side. So, I don't know what's going to happen, though. Is this another player that, like, I'm going to say this, and I could see this, Garnacho to, like, Al Nassr. Like, I really could see that happening. Is this another case of the summer season where all these guys are going to end up in Saudi? Because it's really the only place that they, as the football club, United, and obviously what Liverpool's doing with Darwin, can get the money for these players that they paid or they feel are valued at a lot. And, United's going to feel Garnacho has a certain value regardless of how it's going between the manager and himself or the ownership and him. So Garnacho, I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. Again, another player that's clubless. He's not going to be playing first-team football in 2 weeks as of now, and that's just a weird situation. All right, what gets even weirder is Antony, because Antony last season had the whole world like, yo, what the hell? This guy gets bought by United at around a value of 70, 65, 80 mil, right? From Ajax. Crazy valuation. Gets there and really does nothing for 2 full years, okay? Gets loaned out eventually to Betis. Guys, the goals that Antony was scoring last season, when you see a chart like this market value-wise, do you know how impressive this is? He's getting older, and his value pretty much doubled from his low. That's how good he was last season. That's how good he was. He was scoring incredible goal after incredible goal last season. He gave Betis some really nice goals. And look, he wants to go back there. But right now, he's technically a Manchester United player, and they haven't figured out a loan deal. So he's not playing for United. We all know that. United have already told everybody, like Antony, like Garnacho, and like Rashford, you're not playing here next season, right? Sancho as well. They're moving on with the project. They've brought in Mbeumo. They've brought in Cunha, Sesko now. So, look, United's not playing this guy. So, for as crazy as Antony did perform last season, what's going to happen here? We don't know. Antony also said if it's not going to be Betis, which, look, I can't believe they're not getting that done. I don't know too much about the situation. He wants to be on a Champions League team, which is understandable. So we will see. There's a lot of news with United of where these guys are going to go and what's going to happen. Okay, this one. This guy, man, wow. And look, this is going to go down as one of Manchester City's worst investments. This is going to be one of the worst investments in football of all time, okay? Because Grealish has a stud season at Aston Villa. And for me, Grealish is a prime example of an England player just getting an extreme tax when he probably shouldn't. Now, I will say I watched him at Villa. It was an incredible season. He was phenomenal. But the fact that after that season, that was this year where he was turning 26, and Manchester City decided to buy him. I don't know the exact fee. It was 117 mil was the fee, man. You talk about overpay. I mean, right now, maybe they could get 30 for him. Maybe. So Jack Grealish, we've got no rumors besides today. All of a sudden, this pops up from Ornstein, where I'm going to read you this. Everton opens talks with Man City over potential move to sign Jack Grealish. He's 29 years old now. He's 29 years old, and it's a complicated deal. It's not guaranteed to materialize. But look, he's not playing at Man City. Now, was he a full bust at Man City? I don't think we ever got to see Grealish that we saw at Villa, but I don't think the system of Man City enabled that for him. I don't. It's just a fact. The style Villa was playing compared to Man City, he wasn't being utilized the same. I felt like Grealish, when I watched Manchester City when he was playing, and look, Grealish was actually a contributor to them winning some trophies. He was on those teams. He was getting playing time. It's not like he rode the bench or never played. He was. But I felt like he just never really was out there expressing himself. The amount of times I would watch this guy cut back, feel like he was a victim of this system, had to play everything so simple. We got to not see anything creative out of Grealish that we saw at Villa that gave him that price tag. So a lot of players do say this when they are in that system of Man City, and we see it ruin some players, or we see it at least, mess up some of the consistency. But I don't know what's going to happen with this guy, because he's not going to really be getting much playing time. at Man City. Man City have brought in a couple of signings now at this point. It's just not looking like he's going to be playing much there. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. It's a very weird one, though. You know, it's a player that goes crazy at 25, 26, you know, just completely blows up in transfer value. And then what happens then? You know, goes the other way. It's just, the Grealish is a really weird one. Okay, Enrich. Now, this guy played last season, okay? He doesn't have some weird situation going on at Real Madrid. We saw many times where Ancelotti was like, dude, please play more simple. We've seen some absolutely incredible clips from Enrich. We have. Now, Real Madrid got him from Palmeiras for about 50 mil. That was the fee. You know, it's looking at this point like, yeah, it wasn't fully worth it. But look, the kid is still 19 years old. So are we giving up on Enrich's career? No. What I worry about is this going to be a similar trajectory of Vitor Roque? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Vitor Roque ends up going to Barca, doesn't work out, gets loaned to Betis, and now where is he? He's back already in Brazil at like 24. He's already back there. Now, Brazilian league for me is top 10. But you go all the way to Europe, you play at these big clubs, top 2 league, and you go back, it's not a good sign career-wise. So my thing with Enrich is this. We didn't really get to see him at the Club World Cup too much. I feel like, at least. Maybe he was playing. I don't really remember watching him play too much at the Club World Cup. It was similar to Rodrigo, where Rodrigo really wasn't getting much minutes. I think he maybe played a bit. I don't know. The bottom line is he hasn't played nothing at Real Madrid, but in the La Liga, guys, he's only had 352 minutes. And, you know, we look at the Real Madrid side, like, we've seen Xabi Alonso now go out in an interview and say Garcia is going to be the striker. Or if it's not Mbappe, it's Garcia. So where does that put Enrich? Where is Enrich going to play? That's your $1 million question. So I look at Enrich and I'm like, I just don't know if this guy's going to be at this club in a year. And I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. Now, his contract with Real Madrid is till 2030. So maybe it's one of those players that, yeah, he needs another year or two to develop. We've seen some incredible footballing clips and incredible highlights from Enrich. But again, I think he's another victim of he's not being able to play and get that consistency. I look at players that play for Real Madrid, players that play on top 5 Premier League teams, Barcelona, PSG, Inter Milan. All these players are insane. All of them are top-tier professional footballers. It's whether or not they can continue to get into the flow of things. Anyone that watches this channel that knows and plays football, I'm sure many of you guys are great, but if you're not getting consistent runtime, you're going to be rusty, you're never going to find your rhythm, and you're not going to be as confident. So Enrich's goal is going to have to be somehow break into this lineup or get his ass to a club where he's going to be able to play. I also feel like there's a large lack of strikers in the world. Enrich is a 2006. There's a lot of upside still with him. So, you know, I don't want to see him just kill his career sitting at Real Madrid the whole time, being in the shadows and never really getting playing time. This one is the only exception in this video that I still think is a player that is just too good to not play. So, Rodrigo, you know, we didn't get to see him too much at the Club World Cup. We've seen Rodrigo over the years, okay? I think Rodrigo in this second era of, let's say, this decade of Real Madrid in the Champions League has been a major key to their success. Like, people don't even give this dude enough credit. Real Madrid over the last 2 decades, obviously a lot of Champions League success. But this guy is a winner, and this guy knows how to win, and this guy knows how to contribute, and this guy knows how to show up in the big moment. So, I'm not sure. We've already seen Xabi Alonso, you know, kind of rolling with Arda Güler more, you know, and like Rodrigo, we've seen him pretty much linked with tons of teams this transfer season. It's like one week it's Arsenal, the next week it's, you know, I heard Chelsea at one point. Now it's maybe Liverpool. I mean, we look at current rumors, they're saying Liverpool, Al Nassr, Arsenal. I think now Liverpool do need to bring in another winger and striker. I still, because they just put Darwin and Diaz out. So, you know, and Liverpool looks like they're going to spend. It's just the wages with this guy. And it's another scenario where Liverpool are going to pay a lot of freaking money for a 24, 25-year-old. Now, it doesn't mean they can't be great, but this is also the situation. So I expect him to look. He's still going to play at Real Madrid. He's a Real Madrid legend, that's for sure. But I don't think he's going to be at Real Madrid any longer than the next year. I think he'll be somewhere else. Call me crazy. Where is he going to go? I don't know. And he will. This is the exception to this video. This guy is going to be playing for sure in the rotation. So yeah. And then this was my point with, I was talking about Enrich, guys. I wanted to talk, like, this is what I was talking about. Like, you look at what happened with Roque, right? And like, look, he's just back to Brazil. So he's 20. I'm sorry, he's not 24. He's 20. Oh my God, he's 20. So that's what I'm saying. You got to hope that doesn't happen with Enrich. Okay, next player. Chiesa. And unfortunately, Chiesa to me is a guy that the injury just cooked him, man. Now he's not benefited from playing a ton at Liverpool. He's not got a lot of playing time because he got injured again. Gets bought from Fiorentina, from Juventus, gets a transfer value fee at some point of 70 mil. And then Liverpool, I think the fee ends up being 12 mil to get him there. So it's not like they've done terrible. But, I mean, it's just, is it over for this guy? Because he's not been getting playing time. It seems like Slot is kind of saying, like, hey, we're willing to let this guy go. And I think they're looking at Chiesa like, yeah, he's 27. He's going to turn 28 this fall. If we hold on to him for another year or two, what happens then? Value-wise, he's about 14, 15 mil. I haven't seen anyone rumored with him. I mean, I don't know. There's been nothing about Chiesa. So I don't know. We're not going to probably see him play that much this season, and that's why I think that he's going to end up somewhere else. Okay, we got a couple more players. All right, this one. You may have not heard this name, and I'm not going to get everybody in this video. Dude, Calvin Phillips. I saw this guy for Leeds United play an incredible season, and I've watched him for literally, I think, 5 years sit on the left bench. Now, Man City, they picked him up for 50 mil. He's been on a couple loans now. He's been on loan to Ipswich, and I think he had a West Ham loan. He's back at Man City now. He's going to get no playing time this season. So where does this guy go? Again, I don't know. You guys let me know. He's 29 now. This is the last player we're going to talk about, and it's Jackson. Now, Jackson is such an interesting one because right now Jackson is actually at the peak of his transfer value. Chelsea got him from Villarreal for 37 mil. And they're looking at Jackson right now as, hey, man, we might make a profit on this guy because they brought in Joao Pedro, who has been sensational at the Club World Cup. Okay? Sensational. They brought in Liam Delap, so they've got their strikers. They may even bring in another attacker at some point. We're seeing them linked with a ton of players. Okay? So Jackson, to me, is going to either go in the next month or going to go in January. I don't know. He's not going to be getting a lot of playing time in this team, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, he's played a lot of Chelsea minutes, and he's not had the worst season of all time. Could he have done better? Absolutely. Absolutely. But for Chelsea, guys, in 81 matches, he's had 30 goals and 12 assists, which by no means is not bad. You look at what Højlund has done, and Højlund was more expensive than this guy. Jackson has not been a failure at Chelsea. It's just that they have upgraded, and the team has got larger things on their mind next season. So, rumors-wise, all we have heard up until this point is a blank rumor at United. But I don't think that's going to happen because United are now going to get Sesko, it looks. And we've heard a little bit about AC Milan. I've heard that a little bit. But this came up today. Newcastle are targeting a move. Newcastle have been rejected by every single player. So let's see what happens because maybe they will actually get their signing. I don't know. Isak has returned today. There's some question marks with the striker position. They didn't get Sesko. They didn't get Ekitike. So maybe they're going to get Jackson now. We will see, and what does that fee look like? But guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. This was an idea that I had just for a little bit because I'm like, dude, we have all these footballers that have just these ludicrous transfer values over the years. And like all these guys, as of August 5th, August 6th, do not have football clubs. They're not going to be playing. They're getting paid wages, and we don't know what's the future for them. We really don't have them linked with anybody. It's super interesting. So let me know where you think some of these guys end up. And let me know what you guys think is a good idea for some of these players. Where do you think would be a good spot for some of these guys to go? Peace.